Workplace fatalities can be categorized by the cause of the incident. Analyzing these causes helps identify areas where safety measures can be improved. A review of workplace fatalities reveals the following distribution. Transportation incidents account for 14 fatalities, representing 14.9% of the total. Assaults and violent acts resulted in 3 fatalities, or 3.2%. Contact with objects and equipment also caused 3 fatalities, equaling 3.2%. Falls were a major contributor, leading to 30 fatalities, which is 31.9% of the total. Exposure to harmful substances or environments was the leading cause, with 40 fatalities, representing 42.6%. Fires or explosions resulted in 4 fatalities, or 4.3%. Firstly, let's look closer at transportation incidents. These fatalities can involve vehicle crashes, being struck by vehicles, or other transportation-related accidents. Safety measures to mitigate these risks include ensuring driver training, implementing safe driving practices, maintaining vehicles properly, and establishing clear traffic control procedures in work zones. Secondly, assaults and violent acts, while representing a smaller percentage, are a serious concern. Workplace violence prevention programs, security measures, and conflict resolution training can help reduce these incidents. Thirdly, fatalities from contact with objects and equipment often involve machinery, tools, or materials. Implementing lockout/tagout procedures, providing proper guarding on equipment, and ensuring employees are trained on safe operating procedures can help prevent these accidents. Falls are a significant cause of workplace fatalities. Fall protection measures are crucial in preventing these incidents. These measures include using guardrails, safety nets, personal fall arrest systems, and ensuring proper ladder safety. Employers should conduct regular inspections of fall hazards and provide training on fall prevention techniques. Exposure to harmful substances or environments is the leading cause of workplace fatalities in the data provided. This category includes incidents such as exposure to toxic chemicals, hazardous materials, extreme temperatures, or oxygen-deficient atmospheres. Control measures to prevent these fatalities include implementing proper ventilation, using personal protective equipment such as respirators and protective clothing, providing training on hazard communication, and establishing emergency response procedures. Fires and explosions, while less frequent, can be devastating. Fire prevention measures, such as controlling ignition sources, storing flammable materials properly, and maintaining fire suppression systems, are essential. Employers should also develop and practice emergency evacuation plans. Overall, analyzing workplace fatality data by cause is crucial for identifying areas where safety improvements are needed. By implementing appropriate safety measures and providing comprehensive training, employees can create a safer work environment and reduce the risk of fatalities. The importance of preventative measures cannot be overstated. Regular risk assessments, hazard identification, and employee involvement in safety programs are key to creating a culture of safety. It's vital for companies to not only comply with safety regulations but also to proactively identify and address potential hazards. Furthermore, continuous improvement is essential. Safety programs should be regularly reviewed and updated to reflect changes in the workplace, new technologies, and lessons learned from past incidents. Investing in employee training and providing the necessary resources for safety is crucial. A well-trained workforce is more likely to recognize hazards, follow safe work practices, and report potential problems. Open communication and a supportive environment are also important. Employees should feel comfortable reporting safety concerns without fear of reprisal. Management should actively listen to these concerns and take appropriate action. Safety is a shared responsibility. Everyone in the workplace, from top management to frontline employees, plays a role in creating a safe and healthy environment. By working together, companies can significantly reduce the risk of workplace fatalities and injuries. Let's delve into each category in more detail, starting with transportation incidents. These accidents can occur on public roads, private property, or even within a company's facility. Factors contributing to transportation incidents include driver fatigue, speeding, distracted driving, inadequate vehicle maintenance, and poor road conditions. To mitigate these risks, companies should implement comprehensive driver safety programs. These programs should include driver training, vehicle maintenance schedules, and policies prohibiting distracted driving and driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Companies should also use technology to monitor driver behavior, such as GPS tracking and electronic logging devices. These devices can help identify speeding, hard braking, and other unsafe driving practices. Regular vehicle inspections are also essential to ensure that vehicles are in safe operating condition. In addition, companies should establish clear traffic control procedures in work zones to protect both workers and the public. Next, let's consider assaults and violent acts. Workplace violence can take many forms, including threats, intimidation, physical assault, and even homicide. Factors contributing to workplace violence include stress, job insecurity, conflicts with coworkers, and interactions with difficult customers or clients. To prevent workplace violence, companies should implement comprehensive workplace violence prevention programs. These programs should include risk assessments, security measures, and training for employees on how to recognize and respond to violent situations. Security measures may include installing security cameras, controlling access to the facility, and hiring security guards. Training should focus on conflict resolution, de-escalation techniques, and how to report threats or incidents of violence. Companies should also have clear policies prohibiting workplace violence and outlining the consequences for violating those policies. It is also important to foster a positive work environment where employees feel safe and respected. Open communication and a supportive environment can help reduce stress and prevent conflicts from escalating. Now let's turn our attention to fatalities from contact with objects and equipment. These accidents often involve machinery, tools, or materials. Common causes include inadequate guarding on equipment, failure to use lockout/tag-up procedures, and improper training. To prevent these accidents, companies should ensure that all equipment is properly guarded. Guards should be designed to prevent workers from coming into contact with moving parts or other hazards. Lockout/tag-up procedures should be used whenever equipment is being serviced or repaired to prevent accidental startup. Employees should be thoroughly trained on safe operating procedures for all equipment they use. Training should include how to identify hazards, how to use equipment safely, and how to respond to emergencies. Regular inspections of equipment are also essential to identify and correct any potential problems. Now let's discuss falls. Falls are a major cause of workplace injuries and fatalities. Falls can occur from heights, such as roofs, ladders, or scaffolding, or on the same level, such as tripping over objects or slipping on wet floors. To prevent falls from heights, companies should use guardrails, safety nets, or personal fall arrest systems. Guardrails should be installed on all open sides of elevated work surfaces. Safety nets should be used when guardrails are not feasible. Personal fall arrest systems should be used when workers are exposed to fall hazards and other fall protection measures are not adequate. When working on ladders, workers should maintain 3 points of contact at all times. Ladders should be inspected regularly to ensure that they are in good condition. When working on scaffolding, workers should ensure that the scaffolding is properly erected and secured. To prevent falls on the same level, companies should keep floors clean and dry. Workers should be trained to recognize and avoid trip hazards. Now, let's examine exposure to harmful substances or environments. This category includes exposure to toxic chemicals, hazardous materials, extreme temperatures, and oxygen-deficient atmospheres. To prevent these exposures, companies should implement proper ventilation. Ventilation systems should be designed to remove airborne contaminants from the workplace. Personal protective equipment, such as respirators and protective clothing, should be used when engineering controls are not adequate. Employees should be trained on hazard communication, including how to read safety data sheets and how to handle hazardous materials safely. Emergency response procedures should be established in case of accidental releases or exposures. Companies should also monitor the workplace for hazardous substances and ensure that exposures are below permissible exposure limits. Lastly, let's discuss fires and explosions. Fires and explosions can be devastating and can result in serious injuries or fatalities. Common causes include flammable liquids, combustible dust, electrical hazards, and hot work. To prevent fires and explosions, companies should control ignition sources. This includes prohibiting smoking in areas where flammable materials are present, using explosion-proof equipment in hazardous locations, and ensuring that electrical equipment is properly maintained. Flammable materials should be stored properly in approved containers. Fire suppression systems, such as sprinklers and fire extinguishers, should be installed and maintained. Employees should be trained on fire prevention and emergency evacuation procedures. Emergency evacuation plans should be developed and practiced regularly. Regular inspections should be conducted to identify and correct any fire hazards. In summary, workplace fatalities are a serious concern, and it is essential for companies to take steps to prevent them. By analyzing fatality data, identifying hazards, and implementing appropriate safety measures, companies can create a safer work environment for their employees. Investing in safety is not only the right thing to do, but it also makes good business sense. A safe workplace is a more productive workplace.